as he mentioned, my name is Christina. I work with Plus One Robotics, and we are seeking to become the de facto leader in 3D vision guidance in the logistics space. And you can't really talk about the logistics space without mentioning Amazon. So I'm going to go ahead and mention them as an indicator of the growth in the industry. Back in 2015, they surpassed Walmart for value, and just recently in 2019, they're the third most valuable corporation behind Apple and Microsoft. And all this growth comes with a cost, and currently one of the major problems within the industry is a labor shortage. And this is across the globe. This is from a survey from companies in the supply chain industry. Their number one concern is hiring and retaining qualified workers. So we've seen something similar before in a different industry that had large warehouses where the volume needed to be really high. So they needed to have high output. And we were able to use robotics to help augment the workforce and create quality products. So one of the things that I want to mention about how robots were implemented in this space is that you can tell even just from looking at this picture that it's a very structured environment. So it's the same model of car coming down. It's coming down either at the same speed or indexed to the same location. And the robots are highly specialized to do things like welding or painting. And so everything about this industry and the use of robotics in this application was very structured. By comparison, logistics is very unstructured. So this looks a bit chaotic by comparison to the other picture. You have a chute that has just a pile of packages coming down, and not only are the packages in a chaotic pile, but they are also a very high mix of parcels. So you won't see the same package come by twice, and these packages can have all sorts of dimensions and all sorts of sizes, and you can box things and you can put things in envelopes when you ship them. So it's a very dynamic and unstructured environment. So the only way to really get through to a solution is to solve, one, the grasping problem, and two, the vision problem. So within this space, we do have lots of competitors who are focused on grasping, but Plus One is focused on the vision side. So we've developed software that we call Pick One that is focused on taking data from a 2 and 3D data sensor and computing and looking at traditional perception software algorithms that do plane detection, and we generate essentially a pick point that we then feed back to the robot. And we are using many tools that have been mentioned here, AI, reinforcement learning. So we'll take a set of images, we'll label them, we'll create a model and use that and apply it to the robot. And we have also started looking at technologies generated in this research area as far as the synthetic data and adversarial neural networks. So we're trying to stay on the cutting edge of vision technology, but we also believe that humans are doing this job now, and humans do a very fine job of the perception problem. So wherever we can, we think we should try to put a human in the loop. What this looks like yesterday is industrial applications that had almost no human in the loop, and teleoperation, which we've seen before, that has 100% human in the loop. So that robot in the medical industry will not move without human guidance. So what we believe is there's a middle ground here where we don't have to teleoperate the robot to tell it how to pick that box, but we can tell it here's the point to pick. And so you can have a ratio of many robots to one human where the human gets to feed into the robot cycle. For us, what that looks like is using the traditional perception algorithm, using the AI, and when this new object comes down the chute that you don't know what to do with, the human gets to decide where the pick point is and whether or not that object should even be in that stream of packages. And every time you generate a pick point from the human application, that feeds back into your AI, and you do reinforcement learning. So you can start off with an application that is maybe just 80% autonomous picking and placing, but every time the human does a new pick point, that feeds in and improves the model, and you get closer and closer to 100% autonomous picking. So at Plus One, we think that this industry is going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to have this labor shortage, and we think that we can best solve it by utilizing and force multiplying our best asset, which is our human asset. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much.